Hello, and we're back. Just got done playing Who is Lila? Good game. Got into a lot of the ARG stuff and enjoyed it. Give me a second to switch over the thing. We're gonna just say SCP readings. I think that's what we're doing today. And we'll probably do them up until about when my wife gets home. I'm sorry I'm being a little like flaky about streams recently. Just need to. The Discord is a great place to send me SCP suggestions. This text document that I thought had things on it is now blank. I just have a blank text document on my desk. Oh wait, hold up. Here it is. SCP RevScarecrow list. So these ones were recommended by Disaster By on Discord. They just PM'd me stuff. For now, we're gonna go with those and we'll move on from there. Give me half a moment to go ahead and get all that set up. But regardless, I hope that you guys are having a good day so far. As a reminder, I'm going to be doing a charity on my wife's birthday, which is February 3rd. And we're going to just stream probably Pooh Ball until I beat it or she gets home, and then I'll go hang out with her, because that seems like the way to do things. The charity is called Raising Money for the American Heart Association in honor of my wife. Not because there's anything wrong with her heart. I just love her a lot with all my heart, and I just figured it would be cool to do that as an extra thing in addition to all the other gifts. You know, again, there's nothing wrong with her heart. I'm giving it a bit of a meme name, so that way people don't donate because they think that the donations are going to help out my wife. Like, my wife, as far as I know, has no heart conditions, but February 3rd coincidentally is also Heart Day, I think it is. Or is Red Day, which is National Heart Day for we've read all these, I think. Trying to find one that I haven't read. Okay, this is an oldie but a goodie. I recognize it. That looks like a friend. The furry one? This one doesn't have like a thing to it. All right, so this is an old one because it only has the object class. It doesn't have the other stuff. The one that people want to... Can you guys not be monsters? Like, can you guys not... How did people sexualize this? You know what? Give me a minute. Images. Yeah, they gave her fat tits. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I guess everyone's got a thing that, man, like, you know, okay. It's actually someone's fursuit / fursona in the first place, and he used it for the art. It's a great fursuit, don't get me wrong. Yep, you did see some Nazi stuff in there. Giving fat tits to a monster like that is a weakling move. It depends on if it's a mammal or not. Let's read first, then we'll decide. All mobile devices that have SCP-1471 are installed are to be confiscated and analyzed for any potential Oh, hold up. We don't have the creepy music. What is it? FL Studio. Thank you. Nazis like to inject themselves into every single community ever.
Electro proves it moves you.
Great.
Electro proves it moves.
We'll mix some music real quick. That's perfect.
Electro proves it moves.
Feel terrific, feel.
Does that work?
There is no hope, only. There is no hope, only pain.
A little bit faster so you can get through the whole sentence.
There is no hope, only pain. 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 There is no hope, only.
Nope. Faster.
There is no hope, only pain.
Perfect. That's wild that I can do that. All right. So anyway.
Goodbye, Soberday. Goodbye, come and have a.
Taking you to a higher state. Taking you to a higher. Taking you to a higher state.
It seems we have a problem. It seems we have a problem. It seems we have a problem.
It seems we have.
What's another like thing I can make it say?
It seems we have a problem. It seems we have a problem. It seems we have a problem.
Come. Poopy. Balls.
Come, poopy balls.
Yes.
Come, poopy balls.
Oh, stop fucking monsters? Sure.
Stop fucking monsters. Stop fucking monsters, you freaks.
All right, compressor. There we go. That's what I want. Perfect. Look at me learning things. Oh, this sucks. I love it. Why am I doing this? We gotta have some background sound. I don't know as if this is right for what we're trying to do here. Uh-oh, I'm enjoying myself. This will be the baseline. All right, and then lastly, I feel like we need to have like a EQ on this. Actually, let's make it hit those low ends a little bit higher. Let's just keep that relatively normal and then bring the highs down. I think this is creepy enough. What do you think? So people who make like ambient music, they just like don't know how to use the software they're using, right? Because people are saying like, oh man, this is put a low pass filter on that. Sure, low pass. Oh God, where? I don't see that. Do you mean like cut out some more of like the ends or something? Because yeah, I actually don't know how to use this program really. Just filter and set to okay. That's not the right one. Ah, yes, low pass, yes. I mean, that works, but it's just an EQ. That's all you're talking about. Yeah, I'm just cutting out the high ends. This already is that. Low pass allows low frequencies. We already did that then. Great. I like that Come Come Poopy Balls is part of this song. Alright, anyway. Now we can read. And then someone complained that it was too far away, which is fair. I will zoom in. How is this? This better? This is the one that everyone wants to fuck. That's awful. I hate that. Does the person who owns this fursuit know, like, are they in on the, like, fact that everyone wants to fuck them? All online applications stored for multiple devices are to be monitored to prevent any inadvertent sales of SCP-1471. Suspect devices are to be targeted using self-uploading malware in order to disable device until seized by field agents. SCP-1471 is a free 9.8 megabyte application for multiple devices called Mallow version 1.0.0 in online application stores. 1471 has no listed developer and is somehow able to bypass this application approval process and go directly to distribution. 1471 is also able to avoid removal by other program manager applications. That nosehold could do things. Church could do things to you, man. Malo just means bad in Spanish. Clever. I mean, I figured it was bad, like malice, malicious. The root word is not a good word in English either. After SCP-1471 is installed, no icons or shortcuts are created for the application. 1471 will then begin to send the individual images through text messages every 3 to 6 hours. All images will contain SCP-1471-A, either within the background or in the foreground. SCP-1471 appears to be a large humanoid figure with a canid dog skull and black hair. In the first 24 hours following installation of 1471, the mobile device will receive images taken at locations commonly frequented by the individual. After 48 hours, the mobile device will receive images taken at locations that were recently visited by the individual. After 72 hours, the mobile device will receive images of the individual in real time, with SCP-1471-A appearing within close proximity to the subject. Individuals with 90-ish hours of exposure to these continuous images will begin to briefly visualize SCP-1471-A within their peripheral vision, reflective surfaces, or a combination of the two. Continued exposure of 1471 after this point will cause irreversible and sustained visualizations of SCP-1471-A. Individuals at this state have reported periodic attempts made by SCP-1471-A to visually communicate with them, but fail to understand or comprehend these actions. Currently, the only known treatment to reverse SCP-1471 effect is to eliminate the individual's visual exposure to these images prior to 90 hours after installation. To date, no apparent hostile activity has been reported. Is it a problem? Is it just a spooky guy? Mallow, free, description. for blank. Never settle for those awkward feelings of being alone ever again. Mallow is an exciting and an interactive experience that will keep you engaged and intrigued. The anxiety of social situations can be nerve-wracking, but after a few hours of Mallow, you will soon forget all about those painful emotions and disappointment. Be a part of the new craze that is quickly becoming the next social substitute. Remember, the more you participate, the more Mallow will engage with you. Your experience is completely up to you. Absolutely no ads. Enjoy. Well, at least it's ad-free. You can't get that much. It's spooky, but it makes you see something horrific all the time. You say that, but like... some people want to fuck it. I mean, when do you get an ad-free game or program on your phone anymore? People draw this thing with tits. I googled it. You were correct. You know, there's that. Have you guys seen that app that's like for lonely people? That it's an AI that you could talk to it and then it'll like replica? Yeah. Apparently it's just horny all the time. Like, imagine being a depressed person. You just need someone to talk to, but you have no friends. So you see this, you know, app that promises to be your friend. And so you get it. They leaned into it and made sexting with you a premium feature. You wouldn't download a girlfriend. When people go, you wouldn't download a whatever. Like, Luigi Guy the other day tweeted, you wouldn't download a duck. And I'm like, fuck yeah, I would. What are you talking about? Anyway. This is SCP-93. It is also a creepy crawly. How are the audio levels, by the way? Am I being drowned out by the horrific sounds of the void? Nah? Okay, good. See testing document SCP-93-T1 for an outline of testing conditions. 93 must remain on a mirror at all times under video surveillance. Amendments to the area of SCP-93's containment must be authorized only with proper video recording and subject retrieval procedures in place. Any attempt to use 93 outside of the approval test will be dealt with severely and up to including termination. So don't mess with this. 93 is primarily a red disc carved from a stone composite resembling cinnabar. Circular. Okay, I actually don't know what cinnabar looks like, really. I only know about it from Pokemon. Okay. So it's kind of a dull gym. It's pretty. Probably looks something like this. I mean, I knew it was red. I just didn't know, like, what is it? With circular engravings and unknown symbols carved at a 0.5 centimeter depth all around the object. That's pretty deep. Deeper cuts are present on SCP-93 at a depth of 1 to 1.5 centimeters. SCP-93 is 7.62 centimeters in diameter and fits comfortably in most palms without abrasion. SCP-93 will change hue when held by a living individual. The colors taken by SCP-93 are being researched to establish a length. Current belief holds that they change depending on regrets carried by the holder. Oh, good. Hey, sweetheart. Did I lock the door wrong again? Are you home? Wife and chat. You're home? That's good. Welcome home, my love. Hi. New shoes? New shoes.
Want to hear something crazy?
Yeah.
Okay, so I got my feet measured.
Uh-huh.
Right? So my right foot is slightly bigger than my left foot. Okay, that's normal.
That's normal.
Okay. The guy measured my feet.
Uh-huh.
He's a professional shoe person. Measured my feet. Should be a size 7.
Uh-huh.
My feet don't fit into a size 7.
Uh-huh.
They fit into a 6.5.
Sure.
Which is weird. Because they were bigger than 7.
Huh.
Is that weird?
Was the guy just bad at his job?
No, he's very good at his job. He sold
Huh.
2 pairs of shoes. He's good at his job.
I mean, I'm sure, yeah. I mean, he was able to sell you stuff convincingly. Well, damn. Do you want to kiss me?
Yeah. It's warm in here.
It is.
Do you want me to?
It's fine. I got the remote.
Okay. Well, I got you shoelaces too.
Oh, thank you, my love.
I realized, like, I'm really weird in public.
That's okay. We all are nowadays.
Because I went on my lunch break and I'm like, yeah, I'm on my lunch break. Can we, like, wrap this up? And he's like, oh, and I was like, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I don't care how long it takes. And he was just kind of like, okay. So, anyways, great place. I definitely would go back again.
Awesome.
10 out of 10.
All right. Well, I'm going to read a little bit more. I'll see you in a bit. I love you. She's cute. I like her. Anyway, where were we? I had to turn off the void for a second so that way you guys could hear that into the conversation. Should I ask her out? I do. Let's see. If SCP-93 is removed from a mirror and not held by a person, it'll seek out the nearest mirror-like surface. 93 has been observed to travel in the largest possible circle while rolling, building up phenomenal speed. Someone in chat mentioned this. What the fuck does that mean? Homestuck official? Yeah, what is this sentence? You're right. Largest possible circle. Like, maybe if it's like in a room, or is it like, yeah, is it like a coin that you drop where it like kind of like wobbles between the sides? Or is it based on like the length of the room that it's contained with? Like, it'll do a circle and not an oval, so if you put it in a rectangular room, it'll be limited to the outside edge of the shortest edge. Like, hold up. We do need MS Paint. Just paint. Thank you. Okay. So, like, there's two possible interpretations of this. So, let's say this is a room, right? Because it's square, we can actually say the circle is something like this. Alternatively, if it was rectangular, then the largest possible circle it could make, while still being a circle and not an oval, would be something like this. So it ignores this. I have a link on my Redbubble for stuff with the Homestuck chart. I don't know who the fuck would buy it, but if you want it, it's there. Alternatively, I don't know how to draw this easily. Okay. Can I free rotate in this? Doesn't look like it. What the fuck is wrong with understanding largest possible circle? What does that mean? The alternative is that, you know, a coin does this, and then you drop it, and then it does that little wobbly thing where it's like, blah, blah, and it's got little, like, it does the wiggles on the sides, and it'll flop from one side to the other. Kind of in a ring. So it'll have touch points all along the edge like this, where only one edge will be touching the floor the entire time until it goes flat. Largest possible circle given in a given space without obstruction. So it's that square thing that I did, where if it's a rectangular shaped room, then it'll do the biggest circle it can in this space while still containing being a circle like this, right? Where it doesn't go into this part of the room or into this part of the room. But like if at any point there was a hole in the wall, it could go through the hole and be like that. Like the wall isn't here anymore because it went through. So it has like a bigger space to go through there, and then and then that's not what I wanted. That's not what I want at all. That's very good. There we go. Where's the massive schlong? I can't show that on Twitch, but just put it down a little. Oh, okay. Anyway. Building up phenomenal speed. The mechanics of this acceleration are currently not known. If an obstacle is between SCP-93 and the nearest mirror-like surface, it will use this momentum to punch through the obstacle and continue on its course at this speed. It will only stop when a mirror-like surface is contacted. Despite the tremendous impact velocities, no damage will be dealt to 93 or the mirror. So it'll keep going bigger and bigger through walls until it finds a reflective surface. No records exist to clarify the nature of 93's discovery or presence in the Foundation. See 93OD. Since no records exist explaining 93's method of containment, a test procedure was initiated to establish why mirrors must be used to contain it. The results of SCP-93-T1 led to the discovery of living beings holding 93 being able to move through mirrors in a series of tests. That's awesome. Does water count as a mirror? Interesting. Item 93 is to be kept in a silver-lined mirror. This is the original documentation. On a pedestal at 4 feet off the ground in a containment cell block blank. The object is not to be contained in areas exceeding 12 by 10 feet, nor placed on mahogany, pine, cherry, or aluminum pedestals above or below level 1 of containment cell block blank. Object can be handled safely, albeit gently, without consequence. Tests and consequences, therefore, involving the containment conditions can be viewed in section B35-1 of the report. Object was found at the shore of the Red Sea on January 30th, 1968, emitting a low sigh and dim blue gleam. The color has since changed into an orange mix of red only, emitting a hum of varying volumes whilst the presence of female examiners of ages 34 to 41. whilst in the presence of female. Okay. SCP-93 resembled the documented blue for 54 hours and 34 minutes at 1:23 on the 26th of April 1986, coincidentally when the body of 194-9834 was discovered by the research facility blank. This one's very long. That's fine. Ties between 194-9834 and SCP-093 remain inconclusive, and the effects of prolonged exposure to 93 remain unknown, except for infrequent reports of periods of calmness and the case of 242-0049 as periodic waves of depression, loss of balance, thoughts of suicide. These feelings have been reportedly not exceeding 11 days in duration. Object seems to react in the presence of 242. What are these? Are these people? By turning light violet for no more than 2 minutes or 2 hours, not sure which. D-class employees, okay. As documented on the 12th of March 1993. The effects of this reaction remain unknown. Additional notes, the origins of 93s remain unknowns, and documents of the recovery of 93 have been since destroyed in a fire at research facility blank in the December 09, 1989. Reports of the feelings of researchers who have handled 93 have remained inconsequential since the 19th of April 1995. Testing of SCP-93 against conditions set forth by existing containment procedures to access validity, continuing such containment, beginning with changing the type of mirror used and as a position of rest. Mirrored surface, brass frame, retail grade mirror. 93 rests without activity when placed on the mirror. This test alone removes the need for costly silver or wooden containment systems. The standard grade table, 93 turns upright and begins to roll across the table surface in one direction, making a U-turn and rolling to the other, completing an oval shape. Repeating this action until a mirror is brought in vicinity, in which time 93 rolls towards the mirror and lays flatways against it, sliding towards the center. It is noted that despite the grainy feel of 93, it does not mark the mirror in any fashion while moving across it. 2 mirrors at either side of a standard grade table. 93 gravitates towards the closest mirror regardless of the orientation and makes no distinction between different types of mirror, favoring factor of distance above all else in choosing the mirror to move to. A mirror held by a person and moved around. 93 follows a mirror as it moves, gaining speed until maximum velocity of blank is reached. At any velocity, the impact of 93 against mirrored surface results in no damage to either object. Person holding a 93 placing it on a mirror. This test was accidental, the result of one of the staff tripping after some debate about who would be covering the lunch tab. As a result of the behavior of the researchers, it was discovered that a person holding 93 and placing it against their mirror will, in fact, the person placing it against the mirror will move into the mirror. So they fell into the mirror on accident. This test was accidental, the result of one of the staff tripping another after some debate about who would cover the lunch tab, resulting in the behavior. Okay, I just read that. Containment test discontinued after establishing 93 requires a mirror to rest inert. Testing on human interaction with mirrors while holding 93 authorized. Okay, so I will be taking recommendations, I think, after this one, depending on how long this one is. So this is back when they only had the object class, and this is harmful, but easy to contain? Is that what that means? Read every attempt at 001. I feel like the standard for what it needs to be is so incredibly high at this point that they'll never find a good 001. I think that a good 001 would be something that is containable but hostile, and the only thing that's it's like magical in some way, and it was inspiring enough to make the O5 Council realize that they needed to have the SCP containment facilities. This one's quite short. This one is this is one of the Russian branch ones. Okay. I don't think that SCP-001 should be powerful. I think SCP-001 should be completely, like, boring. Like, safe class. But, like, you know, if it ever gets out, it's awful, you know? There's some proposals like that. I kind of like that. Or maybe just go with something that only wishes to be known as SCP-001 and doesn't have anything to do with anything. Like, it doesn't do anything. It's just anyone who looks at it understands that it would be classified as SCP-001. Anyway, we'll get into some of the other ones here in a minute. One of the proposals for SCP-001 is a CD that puts itself at the start of any list. Awesome. SCP-001 has a memetic property that makes it so no one can accurately define it. Great. But it requires itself to be in the first slot. That sounds great. It might be worth it to read over some of the 001 ones, because there might be some good ones in there, especially if they're popular ones. All right, addendum. Containment testing discontinued after establishing that, okay. Testing protocol, subjects testing 93 must wear a class 3 buckle harness strapped to the chest and attached to a tension pulley system, allowing for 30 meters, 1,000 feet of movement. Additional spools may be added to extend the mobility or movement. If necessary, these class connecting these spools must be high grade and capable of withstanding the applied force of 0.2 tons. A field kit containing the following should be standard issue for anyone testing SCP-093. One wrist-mounted light source and with a 3-hour lifespan. Additional power sources providing up to 6 additional hours. That's a very short amount of time with a light. It should go way longer than that. 5 liters of water. 4 or 5 liter, or yeah, 4 0.5 liters of water. So you want 2 liters of water. 4 MREs of any type, plus 2 plain granola bars, chocolate chips allowed. 1 standard issue Beretta firearm with 24 rounds of ammunition loaded. It is not issued until the subject has passed into the mirror and should be given under armed supervision, ensuring the subject passes through entirely. This item is to be requisitioned upon... Did we already read this one? I feel like we've read this one. The Red Sea object? No. Wait, is it? I think it is. Yeah, it is the Red Sea object. One standard issue field knife, Subject is not to be made aware of this item and must find it within their own kit. I mean, there's only like 5 things in the kit, so it's it's pretty easy to figure out what's in there. Did you read the Blood Lake one? It's pretty similar. Maybe I did. Subject must be attached to a video system with the camera mounted on the subject's head or shoulders. The video device must be should be a cable base and allow for the same length of travel as the return system. Wireless cameras have shown mixed results and should be only used in testing conditions where 93 is a currently known color. New colors must be tested using a wired feed. Testing the color of 93 must be recorded, as well as history of the subjects in terms of their incarceration, to identify how 93 determines the color to assume. The link should be connected to guilt of or lack thereof of the subject's psyche. Attached results should be read in order. Sure. Blue test. Subject 2384, male, 34 years old, strong physique. Subject background shows instances of murder, attempted suicide. Subject is cooperative in all steps of the testing. Subject entered the provided mirror while holding 93, which emitted a blue color. Outside technicians observed the mirror retained its true reflection until the subject had completely passed into it, at which time the view changed to an outdoor landscape heavily tinged in blue. Following video feed is attached as media. I did play Control, and I did not like it. Hot take. I thought it was one of the most mid games that I've played in a while. I don't understand why everyone's got a hard on for it. Like the really cool action scene that has the good music. I was just like, oh, all right. Everyone's like, wasn't that so cool? It's the closest we've gotten to a AAA SCP game. I'll stick with the indie ones, man. Like, as crusty as Containment Breach is, I still think it does a better job of doing the SCP, like, fear thing. It just felt like a very whatever game. That was just like, what if we had awful gunplay and mechanics? And I'm not gonna shit on this game again. I'm done with shitting on this game. And that other one, Alan Wake. You guys are allowed to like things that are different than me. 100%. 100%. I just didn't like it. That's how it works. I can like things you guys don't like. And you guys are allowed to like things that I don't like. And I'm allowed to dislike things that you like. And vice versa. Camera activates, flickers into view. Subject is looking over the same view field reported by technicians. Looks like typical lowland plains. Everything has a heavy blue tinge overlapping the normal colors. No discernible landmarks visible as the subject pans view left to right. Only grass, weeds, and a breeze moving the taller grass. No trees, no living beings visible. Subject moves forward as instructed, traveling for approximately 500 steps before something becomes visible. A patch of land up ahead is barren and the grass can be seen dying as the subject approaches it. Approximately 300 steps forward, the subject is standing before a hole in the ground. The hole has been dug using unknown tools of primitive origin. Pulley system engaged and the camera suffers a light shudder. Subject is instructed to enter the hole, and after a mild protest agrees to do so. There is no apparent method of descent, such as ladders or rope. Subject relies entirely on his own hands and the pulley system to slow the descent. Approximately 100 meters of cable is used before the bottom is reached. Light source provided in the field kit activated at 50 meters down, where the sources become unreliable. Sweeping gestures of light reveal nothing more than dirt at the bottom of the hole. Like, I like really bad games. My Summer Car is unironically, I think, in my top 10 games of all time. I did play Lobotomy Corp. I had a really hard time with it. I need to play the other one that they made. Someone on Tumblr has been trying to get me to play it for the last little bit, and I just have not gotten around to it. It's apparently a card game. I don't know how well card games, there's certain genres of games that I'm really into, like card games, strategy games, that kind of thing, that just do not make good for good streams at all. Library of Runia. Yes. It looks cool, but I don't know if it would be good. Have I ever played Guild 2? I always saw it at like discount stores. Have you tried Darkest Dungeon? The people from Darkest Dungeon actually sent us all a thing. They sent me a an audio clip of the guy, the narrator going, "Senpai is mine." Because I was playing a lot of Yandere Sim at the time, and they were like, "What meme do you want?" I was like, "No, that's fine." Darkest Dungeon, kind of a ball ache in a lot of ways, but I enjoyed it. But not enough to like try and beat it, because I just end up getting fucked, and it's like, oh, okay, I guess this runs over. I don't know if I want to go back to that game. Guild 2 is basically a medieval business sim. I know what you're talking about, yeah. Has the most reliance on RNG I've ever seen. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Didn't they make Darkest Dungeon 2? The subject moves forward with the assistance of a light source. Asks about the blue tinge. Subject expresses confusion and says there's no such tinge from his perspective. There never was. Light is visible down the passage at 15 meters of cable has been used. Out of the camera's eye, sound is recorded of a firearm being prepared. When questioned about the subject's actions, the subject states that justified precaution and moves forward. Should I look at Library of Runia? It's $30. Yeah, sure. I was born in January 1st, 1950. Like, the core gameplay is like card battles. And I don't know as if this is gonna make good watching. I also don't trust the translation. Happy birthday, main dog. Yeah, I just put in like whatever date now, because I'm 34 going on 35 next month. I don't give a shit. It's Slay the Spire, but different. It has a good translation. The first game had a fucking awful translation. Everyone say happy birthday to main dog. Hap. The tunnel turns into bare dirt to concrete enclosures. Subject complains of a stench. The light source is revealed to be a ceiling light fixture, a series of which is no less than a quarter broken. Of which less than a quarter is broken while others function. Series of 6 doors, 3 are to the side, span before the camera's view, with the 7th door visible at the end of the corridor has been blocked by what looks like generic metal shelving debris. Debris shows signs of rusting and typical retail store units suggesting other human presences. Subject requests to try the doors in whatever order he chooses. Subject tries the first door on the right. It's locked, does not open. Second door tries to open but does not budge. Unlocked but blocked. Closing the second door. The third door is tried. Same results as the first. It's locked. Going up the other side, the third door does open fully and light is bright in the room. Portable light is switched off. At this time, the subject pans the camera to inspect the room. Room is bare, no contents, but the walls are filthy. Subject states that the material on the wall isn't dirt, but he can't identify it. Seems to resemble a melted plastic, but is brown in color rather than black. The door is closed. So, but the researchers are seeing this all blue. There's a lot of games that are really fun to play, but really bad for streaming. Mostly a lot of games that I enjoy, but blue tinted, right? Also, I'm gonna lower the BPM. There we go. I don't know how long I'm going to be reading today. We're just going to go over this one and see where we're at once we're done with that. But we might get some recommendations. Come poopy butts. Yeah, that's what the thing is saying, but it's slowed down so much that it just sounds creepy. Room is bare, no contents, walls are filthy. The Discord only is active for subs right now, unfortunately. I had thought about trying to make it so that way there was a section of it that would just alert you to when I was going live, but I can't figure out how to do it without potentially threatening the safety of people on the Discord in general, and I just haven't had time to look into it. Roles? Yeah, but apparently you can still see everyone who's in it, and that allows people... I don't know which one 529 is, so I don't know. Gar Galaxy. Let's see. All the doors shaped in such a way, the hole where the handle is plugged by an unknown material. All doors shaped in such a way that nothing can visibly escape from the sides, and space for movement is too thin to even look at ground level. First door on the left hand is locked, but part of a key is present in lock from stem to the ridges. The back has been broken off. With effort, the subject manipulates a key in order to open a door and immediately begins coughing and complaining of stench. Walls of the room are clean and ceiling is coated in the same strange brown material. In the third room, in the room there is a makeshift cot from aged blankets with a pillow, a wooden crate containing open boxes of what appears to be foodstuff. Language appears on a video as squiggles. However, the subject states they simply read cereal. Second crate in the room suggests room contains what appears to be empty water bottles that have dried out. A book lays next to the cot, closed, no title or identifying marks. Yeah, I mean, if I make it where it's sub-only mode, I can just ban people if they're a problem. So if you want to troll my sub Discord, you have to spend $5 to do it first. And that stops a majority of trolls. We've had very few people that had to be banned from the Discord. Because generally people are like, okay, you have to act on your best behavior or you get kicked out. And then I made sure that the amount to get into the same Discord is the same amount on Patreon for my art channel as well. There's no difference in it. You might as well join the Discord because once you're in, you can. Like, it's free if you already paid the $5. It's $5 you've already spent. How do you feel about others DMing someone on the server? Everyone's responsible for their own actions, but if it starts to get to a point where people are harassing each other, I'll just ban you. Because at the end of the day, I just want to have a place where I can, like, talk with people who, you know, support me. I would say just fucking don't, because the chance of something bad happens. The Discord just does that automatically. It's the way that the Discord is set up. It's not something I can really control without making it so that way everyone can join, in which case it's a problem. When it came, when like, I'm just too shy to join the Discord despite active, but Guard Galaxy Tail, we'd love you here, man. Anyway, we should keep reading. First door on the left hand is locked, but the part of a key is present and stems from the edges. With effort, the subject manipulates the key to open the door and immediately begins coughing. Right, we read that. On the wall appears to be clipped articles, but language cannot be read. Subject has to remove the clippings for retrieval. Articles, but one crumble at touch due to age. The intact article is put into a field sample container and seems to be recent compared to others. As to investigate the book, the subject begins to move forward towards it. Audio of the tape goes strange and a high-pitched screeching noise like grinding metal dominates all communication for 3.5 seconds. Subject does not touch the book still, and when the noise stops, the subject asks Control to repeat. Control made no repeat request during that time, as the headsets were removed. Subject is advised to leave the room and notes that the door has begun closing slowly on its own, and if left alone, it will close. The subject is advised to leave the door open and investigate the door on the right. I just joined the Discord. I'm very much a lurker type. I mean, like, most of the time, it's just like you get added when it's time for stream, and that's nice. If you don't have the jabroni thing for you know the extension, then it's another way of knowing when I'm live, if I remember to do it, which most times I do. Jabronify. There it is. Let's see. Careful review of the following 10 seconds of tape shows that as the camera pans, a figure is visible at the end of the tunnel where the 7th door is. The door is open only enough for a face to be seen through the crack just before it silently closes. No details can be seen. Subject investigates the 2nd door on the right with no mentions of seeing anything out of the ordinary. This door, when pushed against, moves after repeated bashings and moves enough to view inside at an angle. Corkboard is visible with more articles attached to it. On top of the box of cereal can be seen on the floor, which appears to have been and what appears to be a hand laying palm up. Subject closes door, pans camera past the door 7, which remains closed. Seeing nowhere else to explore, subject is requested to return. Subject poses no protest and complains of the ever-increasing stench. Yeah, the Discord link is, if you just do !Discord, the thing that Moobot just linked will get you how to do it. It should just automatically get you in. Because you've been around for a minute, EFB. So that shouldn't take the 24 hours. I mainly put that there because it's not instantaneous sometimes when people sub. I don't quite understand why. Basically, I don't know how to do my job. I'll be real with you guys. It's just sort of like, if you asked me to explain anything that I'm doing right now, I wouldn't be able to. Nice server image? Yeah, it's pretty good. It's the Rev image with my eyes glowing. How are you breathing? Please explain. Again, don't understand it. Bunch of new people just joined. Be good in there, y'all. All right, where was I? Upon reaching the top of the hold, nothing is visible on the camera, and the subject reports nothing has changed in the landscape. Then begins his return trip following the path of cable, traveling approximately 900 steps. Subject is asked how much of the cable he has used. Control admits they are unsure due to complications, but the subject has traveled in a straight line to reach the hole, so it should be a straight line back. Subject becomes concerned when he states that more cable is visible now, moving in a 90-degree angle away from a point in the ground. Subject pans the camera around in a full circle slowly. On film, behind the subject, a crowd of 37 countable figures stand silently. Features are unidentifiable as they are lacking the blue tinge that dominates the landscape. Panic breaks in Control again, but the subject notes only oddity as being the cable having been an angled path. Subject tugs at his end of the cable. It is taut and does not move. Control begins to reel in the pulley system and rapidly winds. Watching the angled cable movement can be seen as the grass is disturbed further down. The angled portion from the reeling in the line vibrates as it meets resistance, emitting a twang from the recoil. Subject camera pans back along the length of the cable, which now appears to be slowly allowing more slack before all sudden all slack is returned and the pulley system begins again. Control requests the subject return following the cable path, and screams are caught on the audio with panic from the subject. 5 shots are fired as the subject aims the pistol at something not visible on camera. Control reports being able to see the subject returning towards the point of origin while the camera shows the wire disappearing into a point floating in the air. As the subject passes the point, all the cable is now in the pulley system. The camera films only the floor. Control reports that the mirror took approximately 5 seconds to return to a reflection, and SCP-93 remained blue in color until 1 hour after recovery from the subject. Sir Crow, Skelecorgi, thank you for the gift sub. A vile-smelling fluid was present on subject's clothing around the hands when the firearm was recovered. The fluid dried quickly and deemed insignificant of study due to the lack of quality sample. Control personnel monitoring the mirror state have seen massive human beings crawling around on the ground, easily 50 times the size of a normal person with no facial features and a very short arm reach, pulling itself towards the mirror before it returned to the reflection. Due to the proximity of fine details, it could not be made out, but at least one observer noted the being appeared to have been shot from the marks in the otherwise smooth face, featureless face. Field test kit recovered from the subject containing a newspaper article that reads "Data expunged" was filed as an item "Data expunged." Huh. Green test. Oh my god, my wife is cooking something good. Subject D54493, female, 23. Average physique. Subject background shows instances of Grand Theft Auto, second-degree murder of 2 children during the escape with vehicle. Subject cooperative in all steps of testing. Subject entered the provided mirror while holding 93, which emitted a green color. Outside technicians observed that the mirror retained a true reflection until subject had completely passed into it. Is she a gamer, my wife? She likes to play some video games. I think by most accounts people would say that she's not, but you know, we play a lot of or we used to play a lot of Monster Hunter, but we kind of got tired of it. Oh, the GTA lady? I have no idea. Camera activates, flickers into view. Subject is looking out over the same farmland reported by technicians. All greens through the video feed are deeper in green tinge. Overlays the normal colors of the test subject. Discernible. No landmarks from test 1 are discernible as the subject pans camera over the area. Present in the field, long abandoned, in the middle of which stands the remains of a scarecrow of unknown design. Fragments left are rotted and torn. Nothing grows in the tilled land. A farmhouse is visible to the right of the field. Large 2-story basement shelter entrance is visible at one end. Subject prepares her sidearm immediately and is asked by control to relax before proceeding. Her heavy breathing dominated the audio feed. You should probably freak it out because this is fucked up and weird, man. Subject takes a few minutes to announce that she's fine, then proceeds to directly walk to the perimeter of the farmhouse. Subject takes a few minutes to announce that she's fine, then proceeds to walk the perimeter of the farmhouse. Children's bicycles, 2 girls and a boy's, lay against the house near the shelter doors. One of the doors to the shelter lay in the grass, torn from the entrance as evidenced by the splintering wood. On the stairs lay clothes arranged in descending order, shoes to shirt going down, belonging to a boy. Subject begins to scream at Control, asking if this is some sort of sick joke. Control assures her that they've never seen this environment either, and to please calm down. Subject takes several. Okay, so she's seeing the place that she killed these people or something. On the stairs lay. All right. Subject takes several minutes to regain herself before continuing. It is unknown if SCP-93 is, or 93 is linking the subject past with. I mean, yeah, that seems to be exactly what's going on. After several minutes, subject agrees to continue. Communication to subject is muted, and conversation of Control making commentary about the subject's jittery attitude make up the audio for 1.5 minutes. Communication restored as the subject reaches the bottom of the stairs. The cellar of the farmhouse is unremarkable and typical. Several wooden shelves line the far back wall containing unidentified canned substances. Broken light fixtures sway gently from support beams. Camera is panned across the basement slowly. No evidence of footprints are visible in the basement. Can be assumed that it has been abandoned for some time. Subject begins to comment about a stench. Okay. As the subject pans the area, a metal hatch is visible on the ground, similar to the bulkhead on a submarine with a turn handle. Subject remarks that the smell is at its worst around the hatch, and the dirt around the hatch is noted to be clumped and clay-like. The handle of the hatch is old, and the paint is chipped. Subject coerced into turning the handle, which, when fully turned, opens the hatch. Subject begins coughing at the release of the assumed old stale air. When the camera is tilted down into the hatch, it is a white concrete tunnel similar to one found in the Blue experiment, but in much better condition. Subject has to descend the ladder and close the hatch behind her. That seems unnecessary. The second part there, after some convincing, the subject agrees, but to descend, but not to close the hatch. Overlooked concerns about severity of severing the pulley return system in doing so are acknowledged. Descent down. That would be a fucking problem. Why would you even close that? Descent down the ladder and trip to the farmhouse has consumed approximately 53 meters of cable when the bottom is reached. Inside of the hatch appears to be a bunker ill-suited for long-term storage. It's to long-term usage. It is spacious, about half the size of an actual cellar itself, containing 3 bunk beds, 1 for a couple and 2 for single use. Several boxes of food similar to those found in Blue, marked as cereal, fill a waste container near the bottom hatch. On the bed are 2 skeletons, and on the floor is a third, lying next to a simple 6-shooter revolver containing no ammunition. 3 spent casings are across the floor near the gun. On the other side of the skeleton is a bound book in good condition. This is retrieved and placed into a field kit container upon request. The gun is left alone as per request from Control. Subject examines more of the bunker, focusing on a desk where the newspaper has been cut and is in good condition. The clipped articles are recovered using a field container. A little else of interest is brought back from the bunker as the camera panning around the trash bag containing clothes, a few children's toys resembling popular 1950s era product line the walls. Morley grave. Okay, maybe. Morley grave. I'll write it down. Subject is requested to leave the bunker and then sharply asked to wait by a control technician who directs the camera view to an area near the exiting doorway to the hatch. Closer inspection as the subject moves in to find that small area has been fitted with what appears to be an Ethernet jack, the cover of which has been forced slightly away from the wall by a strange amber-like subject. So is it like it's green in this case, but like it's tinted green, but they're like color correcting? Grove, not grave. Got it. I'll check it out. Thank you, guy on Twitch 4. See. Or is it like the piss filter on what's that game? Deus Ex Human Revolution. At the top of the tunnel, no life is seen. Nothing has been disturbed. The subject insists that nothing was there and closes the hatch and immediately vomits. Subject coughs and uses supplied water bottle to gargle, then freezes and asks if the control is hearing that. Control reports no audio. Subject approaches the cellar hatch cautiously with the firearm drawn, lifts her head just enough so the camera can view inside the area. In the distance, approximately 700 meters from the farm, two massive humanoid beings are crawling across this landscape. The entities do not seem to notice the subject, who remains quiet, but whose drawn sidearm is visibly trembling. Subject requested to remain still and silent as beings move. They are featureless, facing at an angle, moving across the field of vision, so the faces are only visible for a few moments. During the time it is clear they have no facial features. The arms they use to drag themselves are short at times and long at others, stretching out to varying lengths each time they move. There's no rear area to the beings. All bodily design appears to be aimed at the torso. The two creatures take approximately 10 minutes to disappear into the distance before the subject begins to panic and begs to return. Request declined. Subject instructed to enter the home from the cellar and not to leave the home under any circumstances. Our first floor is entered through the hatch in the ceiling/floor that opens to with a rusty creaks that cause the subject to pause for 37 seconds before continuing upward, entering the kitchen. A heavy layer of dust coats all items in the kitchen. The refrigerator is left open and all food is spoiled. Adjacent to the kitchen is a living area that the subject enters slowly. There's a recliner, a couch, a television of all 50s style design. The recliner is a laptop. In the recliner is a laptop whose case resembles the 1950s decor and is coated in heavy dust. Opening a laptop reveals the last moments of its operating system, Faithful OS, leaving a standby mode, immediately shutting off. The laptop has no external power source and no power back, and will not power back on. When asked to recover the laptop, it brings the cushion of the recliner with it. The two stuck together. The subject is advised to leave the laptop where it is. I do love these exploration logs. They are good. The inside door leaving the home is nailed shut with thick wood planks. No attempt made to interact with these. Camera view pans to the staircase leading upstairs. Subject descends the stairs without being asked, as the stairs remain silent to the controlled surprise. When subject reaches the top of the stairs, a hallway with two doors is viewed, one on each side. At the end of the hall is a dumbwaiter inlaid into the wall. Subject opens the door on the left on her own, which is the master bedroom. The bed is neatly made, but the wardrobe next to it is thrown open and clothes are everywhere and on the floor. Subject finds laid out on the bed several pieces of jewelry and informed to leave them. Subject begins to protest, then comments that they stink, and then leaves them alone, promptly leaving the room. Subject is asked to open the second door. Second door opens to and gives a view of shared children's room, obviously a boy and a girl, given the types of toys and clothes scattered across the floor. There's also a window which subject approaches and wipes with a curtain to clear dust. Subject requests to move camera to a window and does so. The farmland is visible and approximately 40 kilometers from its best guess at its best guess, a city. The camera starts to draw back and pans down and films the area around the house. Approximately 300 figures, similar to those from the footage captured on the blue test, are visible around the home, all staring up. Subject asks to confirm the figures, but states there's nothing there. Subject requests to return. Hey, do you see those creepy faceless beings? There's like about 300 of them. You see them? This is the Red Sea object, yes. Egress from the house is uneventful. Pulley system shows no erratic behavior as the subject returns to the point of pulley wire origin. A loud groaning sound causes the picture to reverberate. Technicians at control report they cannot hear the noise and experience the vibration. We're also able to hear the noise. I was gonna say, like, what? Subjects return to the point of origin without investigation. The mirror returns to a reflective surface. 93, relinquish. The video ends. Return newspaper fragments filed as blank. And then how many of these tests were there? There were 3 more. I think by then my voice is going to give out. But subject is a male, 21 years of age, average physique. Subject's background shows instances of second-degree murder of a police officer during a drug bust. Normally, this is a crime. This crime, while severe, would not qualify a person for a sentence that would end up with us, but murder of an officer was especially brutal and excessive violence was used. The subject was uncooperative and had to be reminded that cooperation would only benefit him. Can you imagine? Can you imagine being like, yeah, so you're a test subject in this secret laboratory. We'll tell you what your job is later. You're gonna be like, nope, 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 to anything and everything they tell you to do. I just had like a random, I was thinking about the dinosaur thing I was telling you guys a minute ago, like in that other stream. I just remember there's like a really like I think it was History Channel thing about dinosaurs, and they showed dinosaurs mating, and like why did they do that? Pogbot, don't pog at that. That's weird. Like, they don't know how they mated. They're just, like, guessing. And someone got paid to do that. Like, no one wants to see that. I think that video is still on YouTube, yeah. Did I jerk off to it? Don't lie. Oh, really? Really? You have to ask? Which emitted a violet color. Okay, so it's violet. Outside technicians observed that the mirror retained a true reflection until the subject had completely passed into it, in which case it changed to a cityscape, urban, lightly tinged with purple. Similar. Okay, so it is like a piss filter. Camera flickers down to flickers to life and pans around the area. Subject is in what appears to be a modern downtown district similar to a city like New York City. Cities are mostly bare, except for a few cars of unknown make or model. These cars look highly advanced and streamlined. Subject attempt to look into the car windows without being instructed to, but backs away, remarking there is a rank-ass stank coming from the areas around most of them. Subject is persuaded to move closer to one car and does so with coughing, wiping off a window which is covered in dirt. Inside the car appears to be completely filled with a strange brown matter. There's nothing visible other than the brown matter. 2 other cars produce the same results. 4th vehicle seems more reluctant than the others, and the insides are immaculate. The doors of this vehicle are unlocked, and the subject quickly gets inside and then shuts the door. Subject is chastised for this behavior by Control, who reminds him that lifeline is nothing more than a cable, which is sturdy enough that closing a car door does not injure it, but they cannot recover a person in motion. Right. Subject argues with control over this issue and pans the camera across the dashboard, pointing out that he couldn't drive away even if he tried. The dashboard is void of any recognizable controls, ignition, no steering, even has small blank screens that are theorized to be a GPS system. The subject remains in the car while control discusses how to proceed since the city landscape is far larger than previous test destinations. Control debates this issue while the subject stares around at the cityscape from the car. During one pan, a face is clearly seen staring into the car, eyes watching the subject. However, it was not noticed until post-test footage review. Subject made no comments regarding the entity at any point. Control shortly after informs the subject to remain where he is, and an escort team is dispatched through the mirror to join him. A team of 4 armed personnel are sent in the mirror and proceed to the subject's location. The subject is instructed to remove his harness, which was recovered. The subject's video feed ends and replaced with a wireless unit used by the escort team. The video quality in this unit is subject to much more interference, but in order to mark this mirror exit, a receiver system is placed through the mirror. Subject leaves the car and now travels with the escort team. Given a myriad of possible options, they are instructed to simply move to the closest building and attempt to enter it. The building has etched glass behind doors bearing the name XEA Research Partners Inc. The doors are ajar, a magnetic lock system is present, but it has lost its power. Team enters the building and the main lobby. The area resembles a stereotypical corporate lobby. There is a C-shaped receptionist desk, and the chair is pushed far from it as if it was left in a hurry. PC terminal is at the desk as well. The team approaches the desk, and the camera... Sorry, I had to get some water. The team approaches the desk and the camera bearer is instructed to examine the PC. The unit does appear to have power and Faithful OS appears on the screen requesting login and password. Keyboard is present, but is remarkably slim with touch-sensitive keys rather than press-down keys. After one failed attempt, the lock screen replies that the maximum attempts have been exceeded and the PC turns off. No actual tower or power button can be located, so the team moves forward. Behind the receptionist desk, there are 2 elevator doors, one to the left and one to the right, with similar touch-sensitive keys. The elevator on the left is broken, the door open, and the shaft empty. The elevator on the right appears functional and has power. With clear destination, the team is instructed to proceed to the highest floor to get a lay of the city. So they still have the cable? Because you can't get into an elevator with a cable like that. All floors appear to be accessible, with the highest being 114. In reality, 112 as 13 and 113 are missing from the keypad. Oh, okay, I see. They got rid of the cable earlier. You're right, okay. Journey up the elevator is uneventful this time. The elevator does appear to take longer as it passes 13 than 113. Right, because they don't want to have the 13th floor because that's bad luck or whatever. So it's actually 112 floors, etc., etc. But it does slow down past these floors, suggesting they exist. Suggesting an entire floor is built there and nothing put on it. At 114, the doors open and the team enters a large lounge-type area. There are many couches with dust on them. A widescreen, apparently LCD TV of approximately 60+ inches in size dominates the wall in front of them with no power. A series of windows are open, allowing sunlight at the far end, to which the team proceeds and angles the camera down outside. Did they kill the guy? Like, what happened there? The view of the city is astonishing. The building is one of the tallest visible, but certainly not alone in his stature. He's still with them. Okay, that's what I thought, but then, like, there's been no word from him at all this entire time. The city below is gray and silent. No evidence of life at this altitude. Some buildings in the city have a strange brown growth that appears to be splashed against them, as if a gelatinous mass was flung and then seep down before hardening. Their buildings have floors where glass has been shattered and the same brown substance is seeping out the edges. One member of the team calls the camera bearer to the windows on the other side. From the other side of the building, the city edges can be seen. Attention is pointed towards an expressway that encircles the whole city, which crawls another of the large half-body humanoids. You need names for these things, man. It's the third time you've seen one? The team returns to the elevator and notes that the button has already been activated for floor 73. No one approached the elevator, so the team agrees to travel to that floor. On the 74th floor, a door opens and reveals a waiting area. It appears to be a doctor's office. At the reception desk, there is a sign-in sheet with a series of names and dates. The dates in the sign all carry the year 1953. Just big guys. Yeah, there's some big guys. Glurmbos. Sure, whatever. Call them something. On the desktop are a series of folders with years on them, containing files that, when clicked using the center button of the mouse, open a word viewer. Oh, wait. The PC at the reception desk is on and functioning at the user's desktop. The background for the PC is set praying hands and the word faithful OS. Okay. All files appear to be appointment information. The desk is a notepad titled, "From the desk of Dr. Berinsky, Blessed Purificationist." The door of the doctor's area is sketched with the same name as title as well as a crucifix. Opening the door leads to a white, dust-free hallway that has 2 examination rooms and a key-coded door at the end. Examination rooms are unremarkable and typical of any doctor's office. All medicine cabinets are empty. Small amount of C4 is placed at the lock and the key-coded door at the request of control, then blown and forcing the door to open. You could just like shotgun it. The area it opens into is so much larger than the reception area itself. Seems to contain a series of large containment capsules. There's a total of 6 of these capsules. 2 are broken, and a brownish amber material coats the floor coming from them. 1 is empty, and the last 3 have nude humans floating above them with breathing masks. Attached to the front of these tubes are medical charts showing vital signs. Yeah, they just wanted to blow something up, I think. Vital signs and conditions. For symptoms, the chart explains in somewhat awkward English ailments that appear more like flaws of personality or character or incidents that just have occurred with the patient. Control asks for a zoom in on one of the patient pages of the chart. After focusing, it reads, "Citizen Jennifer McZurka did suffer a lapse of the heart that did lead to her to lay with her neighbor twice upon nights of her husband's departure from their home. The patient did submit herself into the Lord and our hands for cleansing of the body and mind. Prayer administered by High Father Welkin. The patient submitted to a 3-day period of the Lord's tears to cleanse her system and then returned released in good spirits." The topmost page reads, "Citizen Alburius Farafan struck out at the High Father during a sermon, blasphemizing that the Lord's tears did turn his daughter into be unright in mind and heart, thusly laying blame for her whorish activities at the feet of the High Father and his blessings. With no proof of these blasphemies, the forgiving judge and the punishing judge did agree that Alberius Falfron did bathe in the Lord's tears himself for a week to be cleansed his mind and his soul, thus to prove that his daughter's ways are not the fault of the Father's hands, and to give him peace of self." Subject who has been traveling quietly with the escort team now begins to panic. Camera pans to focus on him as he is surrounded by entities similar to those witnessed in the first 2 tests. Escort team reports the subject is having a panic attack, but control requests that they stand still and wait. Subject screams at the entities, which are denied to exist by the team commander, saying the subject is alone in a corner. Control requests that the team member be dispatched to approach and recover the subject. The escort team member approaches the subject as ordered. On the video, the figures apart to make a pathway for approaching team member. Who lifts the subject to his feet and brings him out of the corner. Figures on the video are seen closing ranks to close paths. Subject is lifted to his feet by an arm, then escorted through the figures that close their ranks when the subject is moved. They remain steadfastly staring at the subject no matter where he moves to. Control requests that the team return now. Team turns to leave, but before leaving, a team member mentions something noticed at the reception desk, a binder labeled The Lord's Tears. The controller requests the binder be returned as well as is sewed into the subject's field kit. Subject returns to the elevator and returns to the ground floor. Upon leaving the building, the subject points down to the street towards the direction of the entry point. Camera pans down to a section of raised expressway across which one of the large guys, is crawling slowly. An entity turns its faceless head to look at the escort team, raises its head to the sky, emits a bellowing sound. Team leader issuing orders to move, headed for the spot marked by the wireless receiver. The creature on the expressway extends an arm down that stretches to the ground before the camera moves to the port. All team members save one move through the entry point. Subject moves through the entry point and the mirror and returns to the reflective surface. 93 is dropped by the subject, who panics and tries to fight his way out of the room. Subject is terminated by the team leader after he draws the field kit pistol. The team leader requests the portal be reopened, but it takes several minutes to find someone who can hold and generate the same color. The matching color is displayed and applied to the mirror. The video receiver is visible, and all individuals report a horrific smell. Team member moves through the entryway with control person blank. The uniform and possessions of the escort team member who is left behind are present and recovered, but the member himself is nowhere to be seen and does not respond to shouts. Member is assumed to be killed in action, and wireless receiver recovered. Control and escort return through the entry point, and the mirror returns to a reflective surface. Rebecca Valentine 666, thank you for the sub, my dude. I'm getting the feeling that no humans are allowed to stay there in any of these places, and the coloration is based on what crime they've committed against God. Later reviews of the recovered camera show escort member blank grasping at air where the entry point should be, then looking back up to see the oversized torso. A brown gel seems to drip off the creature as it moves, that disappears shortly after being dislodged as if evaporating. Several shots are fired into the creature's face with the automatic weapon carried by blank that land on the face of the creature, causing a spray of less viscous brown liquid to pour forth from the wounds. Blank screams obscenities as the face of the creature descends on him, and the camera is pushed to the ground. Camera feed remains dark for approximately 65 seconds before light comes back, and the camera films the creature crawling away back to the expressway and pulling itself onto it, then crawling into the direction it was originally headed. Blank is believed to have been absorbed by the creature or perhaps digested. This may have been an example of how the unknown entities feed by direct contact with living material. Further study is recommended to be avoided on this issue. Return ledger filed as blank. 2 left. D-class subjects are no longer authorized for testing. Test focus has been shifted to data collection after analyze. So, okay, here's my problem with my theory. Is the person that, the person who had the violet, like, coloration thing, must have done the same crimes that the other guy did. And it's not necessarily crimes that they were convicted for. Like, whatever this, like, guy did, like, it definitely sounds like it could be, like, a sexual abuse thing. Which means that that random person might have done the same crime. Which is, fucking awful. Good story, though. Tessa focus had been shifted on to data collection after analyzing the articles brought back by the previous 3 tests to better understand the fate of the world accessed by 93 and to determine if safeguards or practices are required for our own world. Analysis of the brown fluid on the clothing of the lost escort team member Blank has been filed with other recovered articles. Blank has volunteered for the test as out of the possible candidates, he was able to cause 93 to undergo a new color change. There's no evidence that Dr. Blank has any illegal or criminal behavior, nor any psychological problems. When presented to the mirror, the view changes to that of a cubicle office environment. For this test, Dr. Blank opted to use the wireless video system and forego the pulley return system, stating that he was confident that he would be safe, as none of the torso creatures have been witnessed within the building where the mirror destined shown. Oh, that's stupid. You're stupid, Doctor. How did you get a degree in stupid? Did they test for it? Video feed commences after Dr. Blank has crossed the mirror. As with prior tests, its current color, yellow, tinges all the video material. Camera flickers to life and pans across a series of plain white cubicle constructs. Approximately 30 are visible. At the far end of the point of entry is a office module built into the wall with the frosted glass walls. In my scientific opinion, this is probably fine. I mean, despite the fact that we've done this test 3 times and every time those fuckers showed up and it seems like they eat people, there is no chance that anything bad could happen to me. Anyway, yes, let me go in. Camera flickers to life and pans across. Okay. Dr. Blank approaches this door and investigates the etching writing on it. Senior Manager Stanley Maltamiz. The door is unlocked. The doctor enters the office and examines the desk. Coffee's on the desk. Dark brown stain covering half the inside as the liquid evaporated. There's a donut on the plate, which doctor picks up and lobs at the wall. The impact, it thumps like a rock and falls. The viral... Why did you do that? You literally did get Dr. Dumbass. A filing cabinet in the corner of the room draws Dr. Dumbass's attention as he goes through each shelf one at a time, stopping at the second drawer and taking out a file, then going back to the first and taking out 2 others, continuing to a third and fourth drawers where he withdraws 4 additional files, spreading them all out onto the desk. The files are blue filing folders, and he points with a finger in the camera at the symbol of each praying hand, stating aloud for the camera that all the files are stored in yellow folders. The blue folders are placed in his field kit. Okay. Camera attention is turned to the PC on the desk that is logged in and functional. Dr. Dumbass comments aloud, wondering whether or not these devices are getting their power from, or where they're getting their power from, as he has noticed no power outlets. PC desktop shows the logo of Fateful OS, even has sounds, clicks of the mouse, followed by a soft hymn-like hums and the opening icons following angelic bells. The PC fails to yield any useful information to Dr. Dumbass, who abandons it and leaves the office. Approaching the other end of the office, Dr. Dumbass presses a button on the wall for the elevator and enters, finding that he's on the 34th floor of a building having unusual number scheme. The keypad layout goes from negative 115 to 115, including all floors. Before pressing a floor button, Dr. Dumbass requests that the wireless video transponder be moved to the elevator and replaced with construction cone to mark the entry point. A second transponder unit is placed outside the elevator, and Control is instructed to recover the second unit and seal the test chamber should something happen to him. Then, when all is arranged, she presses for the floor negative 115. A descent down the elevator is a long, consuming 15 minutes. During this time, the camera experiences one malfunction where the image jerks, turns to snow, restoring to show 14 other figures in the elevator with Dr. Dumbass as the video pans around, all of whom move as he moves to allow him space. They remain for 35 seconds, and the camera flickers to snow and returns. Dr. Dumbass is now alone in the elevator, dancing as it is assumed by the ducks and sways in the video feed. He's bored. Hold on. This was just sent on the Discord. I gotta send this to my wife. Hold on. She can actually read this stuff. Okay. Sorry. There we go. We're still alive, man. My voice is giving out, but we're still alive. All right, where were we? Dr. Dumbass pauses to comment about a rising stench coming from below. At this point, the elevator reaches the floor negative 108. Dr. Dumbass presses the negative 110 to interrupt the descent down and exits when the floor is reached. The elevator doors open and an enclosed observation deck where several PCs and chairs. All PCs appear to have power. Ceiling to the deck is also glass, and above it is another deck is visible. Dr. Dumbass approaches the monitoring station and checks one of the PC screens. The screen is the Faithful OS logo, and the video feed toggles between 4 different views. The first view is a room of tubes similar to those found in Test Violet, which number in the thousands. Second view is close-up view of the tubes as a camera glides in front of each monitor the content to monitor the contents. All tubes the camera pass are broken. The third view is facing the opposite direction as the camera glides vertically, checking on each observation station. A total of 10 can be counted, and Dr. Dumbass is visible as the camera passes by his own station. Looking up, the hovering camera unit with no visible means of propulsion glides past him. Fourth view shows the ground floor with the observation deck with single astonishingly large torso being crawling in circles, bumping into walls and changing direction. From the camera feed, the creature's estimated size is 6 stories. Returning attention to the contents of the PC, Dr. Dumbass moves the video log aside to see a simple text editor was hidden behind it. Printout of this text is recovered and filed into the field kit. Printout directed Dr. Dumbass to a safe on floor 54 and provided a combination. This is like a video game. Dr. Dumbass leaves the observation deck and then proceeds to floor 54 without event. Arriving at the cubicle office floor, he proceeds to the desk mentioned in the document, finds a hidden safe behind a desk undisturbed. Combination provided opens the safe and reveals a notebook. Filed in the field kit, a peculiar revolver has been and a peculiar revolver that is returned as blank blank, probably another SCP, in addition to 24 rounds of ammo with it. Dr. Dumbass proceeds back to the elevator without event and returns to 34. Given the sheer number of floors available to explore and the vital information obtained from the observation deck, the test is considered over and the equipment is retrieved. Before returning through the entry point, Dr. Dumbass investigates one of the terminals nearby that has power and finds that it's the exact same screen that negative 110 showed. It's theorized that the author of this note installed a network virus to propagate it so the building through the building, so any PC on the network would be found and information discovered. Interesting. Dr. Dumbass returns to the entry point and the mirror returns to a reflective surface. All materials filed with other SCP-93 recovered materials. Analysis of the revolver and the ammunition for it has been postponed for reasons that would require deconstruction of one of the rounds, and they may be useful or beneficial until testing of 93 is resolved. Video ends. Interesting. And the final last one. Oh, this one's short. I was expecting to scroll much longer. 93 distributed amongst staff until a new color could be generated by contact with it. So maybe it's not a crime thing? I mean, I guess if it's a sin against God. After this, what do? I think my voice is giving out, honestly. And my wife has cooked something amazing smelling, and I'm very distracted by it, if I'll be honest with you. Service technician Blank was able to cause it to turn to a fierce red hue and glow, much brighter than the object's normal color. Blank agreed to assist with the test of 93. Per Dr. Dumbass's request, the revolver was given to technician for use in the test. When applied to the mirror for the test, it generated an unknown environment. No color tinge is present on the displayed designation, which comprised of red stonework. The technician entered the mirror and the video capture begins. Video flickers to life and the technician, thereafter known as subject, is viewing a large cylindrical pillar that is rotating on its own. Object is of unknown height and appears to be 1.8 meters, 6 feet in height, width. Holes being distributed throughout the object, seemingly at random intervals. On occasion, a beam of white light is emitted through these holes. Turning the camera finds that these beams are connected to a multitude of objects similar to 93 that are a part of the room's walls. The room turns out to be cylindrical in shape, with countless copies of 93. Subject turns back to the entry point and finds that the section of wall that is missing its copy of 93, presumably the one that is carried with the subject. Other sections of the wall on inspection are also found to be missing their copies, leading to speculation that this may be some sort of central array. Subject finds a ladder in the floor while examining the room. It proceeds down it at Control's request. I would absolutely fucking not do this. Like, there's a lot of these that I would fuck with. This is not one. And I would not be the first person to fuck with any of these things. The ladder exits into a large clean room full of computer equipment that appears antiquated compared to the previous encounter equipment. Large computer running on reel-to-reels are clicking and spinning at various locations. A light bulb of unknown meaning turns on and off for 10 seconds, then off. A large CRT monitor displaying a single words in 8 colors, roughly 5-second intervals. While observed, the words clean, unclean, clean, clean, lost, clean flash on the screen. Proceeding through the room, it ends in a large glass window as another observation deck. This deck looks over a series of tubes as witnessed before, but far fewer filled with blue liquid. What appears to be an electrical current dances over many of the tubes in erratic intervals. At least 5 tubes at first glance are... Oh my god, I just realized something. This is like like maybe the clear version of this universe? Like the one we live in. But no, because this is all seems to be the same universe. Huh. Just different colors. At the observation window, a keyboard is present and a pedestal awaiting a selection to be made. Options available on the screen are tube status, which awaits a numerical input, reports, situation X549, 550, evacuation log, bullshit, agent blank blank blank, report, facility fire plan, and video expunged. All selections that generate text were transcribed by subject and verified by a control member who passed through the portal to recover them. The process took approximately 2 hours, and the video feed was deleted to condense this report. Recorded documents are filed as blank blank blank, video interrupted. Okay. Control lost contact with the subject approximately 30 minutes after... Wait, what? This process of looking through all the different options took 2 hours. The control lost contact with the subject 30 minutes after the departure from the control tech. Subject was asked to remain in the... Oh, okay, he didn't die. And observe the machinery and containment room for observations and debriefing. The mirror portal returned to a reflective service prematurely, and all video contact with subject was lost. Control was unable to reestablish due to 93 being across the mirror. A time lapse of 1 minute and 48 seconds was recorded before the mirror portal reestablished itself and subject returned through the portal. Subject appeared to be in good health and condition despite the time lost, but spoke little. During the immediate debriefing, subject underwent a sudden convulsions as medical staff was alerted. While attempting to subdue subject, he displayed increased strength and used the revolver to shoot one of the debriefing staff, killing him. Guard shot the subject once with the sidearm in the heart and once in the chest, but the subject did not fall. All staff evacuated the room, and a second shot was fired by the subject, which missed. A more heavily armed team entered the debriefing room. They need to have, like, airlocks to these rooms and just, like, not... Come on. A more heavily armored team entered the debriefing room and used an automatic weapons to dispatch the subject. Report confirms that the subject did not bleed when shot, but leaked a green-brown substance that seemed to mix the solution observed in the containment tubes and material recovered during test 3. All further 93 tests have been discontinued while a review of the materials are in effect. A secondary tape recording device has been found to be activated in the field kit after loss of the video feed. Its contents have been filed away with other recovered materials. All other recovered materials from 93 testing are level 4 classification. Release must be approved by no fewer than 2 level 4 personnel. Staff with applicable clearance must sign in with Dr. Dumbass for access to the materials recovered from the 43 tests. Oh god, this is way too much. I think we have to come back to this, y'all. I really do. I don't know if you're enjoying this. This is a good one. I like it. But I don't think I've got anything left in my voice at this point. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I don't see any new art, so I assume that means that I'm done for now. I will see you guys tomorrow with something else. We might do another Laugh You Lose. And then we can come back to this next week if you guys are interested. If I remember to do so. But this sounds good. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Thank you so much for watching.